Hello, guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'll be talking about my trip to Medellin, Colombia. I absolutely fell in love with Medellin, and I think it's a city every traveler has to explore. It didn't have a good reputation in the 90s, but that's all good now. In Medellin, there's so much to see and do, and I guarantee that you will never be bored. So follow me as I take you through my 4-day trip to Medellin, Colombia. My trip was hitch free. I was a bit nervous about coming to Medellin, but I decided to just go with the flow, and I'm glad I did. So I've never met anyone who didn't have a good reviews about Medellin after visiting. So that helped me boost my confidence. Besides, the weather there was nice, neither too hot nor too cold. So, on my first day, I booked a walking tour. It's always nice to get a good layout of your surroundings, especially when you're in a new environment. Medellin is relatively easy to navigate, and the transportation fares are affordable. It's safer to have your guide, especially if you don't know Spanish. He can explain many things to you, and you can ask questions. You can opt for a free walking tour or a paid one. A free walking tour attracts a large crowd, so you might miss out on the personal experience. However, for a paid walking tour, you have a smaller group, allowing you to ask questions and receive explanations. You don't need a pricey tour to explore Medellin, though. Medellin is home to one of the best free walking tours in Latin America. Honestly, this walking tour is one of the best I've ever done. The tour lasts approximately 4 hours and provides a unique insight into Medellin's past and present. The tour lasted about 4 hours and I had a blast. You must pay a $10 tip to support the tour guide, and since spaces are limited, you need to book the tour at least 24 hours in advance. During my tour, I visited the Poblado Plaza, situated in the city center. It's just a short walk from the San Antonio or Parque Perio metro station. What makes this place so famous, as the name already suggests, is that you can find artwork from Colombian artist Fernando Botero. He's donated 23 bronze sculptures to his hometown, which are displayed in the city center. Next up on my list was breakfast, because I was so famished from all the walking. I found a local restaurant and got aripes con queso and some Colombian coffee. One thing you'll discover about Colombia is that coffee is revered. It's also the basis of my next stop, a coffee farm tour. Colombians are particularly passionate about their coffee. They drink it with almost anything. And their country has some of the largest coffee plantations. The tour takes you through the plantation where you can see numerous coffee plants and witness the hands-on process of selecting, processing, and grinding coffee beans. It was an experience I'll never forget, and it made me appreciate coffee even more. The tour concluded with lunch. We were served frijoles antioqueños. This dish is something you have to try when in Medellin. It's a type of bean stew which combines red beans, pork, plantains, carrots, and potatoes, and is traditionally served with rice, avocado, and arepas. Delicioso. Mwah. After lunch, I headed back to my hotel where I took a nap, and from there, I headed to El Poblado to experience its nightlife. There was some restaurants there, so I started with dinner, which was good. Then the fun began. I went from bar to bar, enjoying good drinks and la música. Hey, Medellin knows how to party, and I didn't get back to my hostel until 3 in the morning. It's 3 in the morning. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah. You guys know that song? I think it goes 5 in the morning, but let me know in the comments. Throughout my stay in Medellin, I felt safe and secure. Of course, I took all the necessary safety precautions, including not flashing my valuables and money, and always staying in groups at night. Throughout my stay, I remained safe and encountered no problems. Visually appealing, but also carries a significant meaning behind it. That is why I recommend visiting the area with a tour to learn more about it. For many tours, a portion of the profits will be donated to the local community. I got hungry at some point and bought some empanadas, which I could not stop eating. They're so good. I also shopped for some local fruits. Wear comfortable shoes because you'll be walking up and down a lot of stairs. Also, be sure to carry an umbrella in case it rains. From there, I visited the Antigua Museum, which houses works by the famous Colombian artist Fernando Botero. In the evening, I went to the Medellin Center, where I got to watch people play this game called Tejo. Tejo is a Colombian sport which you have to throw a metal disc, a tejo, on targets in a box of goo. The targets resemble small triangles and contain small explosives. If you hit it in the right way, it will explode, which is the game's goal. It's super fun, and I made some friends with the locals over a couple of beers. Day 3 began with a breakfast of exotic fruits. I had specifically reserved day 3 for a full day trip to Guatape. I booked a tour that included transportation from my hostel to Guatape. The trip lasted 2 hours, but once we arrived, the fun began. Guatape is a small resort town located near Medellin. It is well known as Colombia's most colorful town. It is just beautiful. But besides the colorful streets, there is a lot to do and to see in Guatape. There were tons of activities to do at Guatape, which included activities like climbing the rock El Peñol. To get to the top, we had to climb a 740 number steps to the summit, where you will be rewarded with an incredible viewing spot, excellent views of the lake and its tiny islands. Halfway through the climb, visitors will also encounter a shrine to the Virgin Mary, and souvenir shops offer traditional handcrafts, as well as a popular local restaurant. I also went on a boat ride on the lake. It lasts for over 8 hours and will consume your entire day. I went water skiing and it was super fun. The tour included lunch and we had this dish called bandeja paisa. Bandeja paisa is served as a sort of a sampler, featuring a combination of various meats, including powdered meat chorizo, fried pork belly, grilled steak, and blood sausage. It also traditionally includes a fried egg, a bed of white rice, baked plantains, and a side of paisa-style pinto beans. You'll also find that the haugo sauce, it's a mixture of tomato, garlic, and onion, as well as avocado and basic arepas. And sliced limes are typically served with the dish. It's a feast. And for drinks, I tried the aguardiente, a popular alcoholic beverage in Medellin, typically served at parties. I hated it. So I just had some fruit juice instead. On day 4, I took a cable car to Parque Arvi. For locals, the cable cars are just a normal means of transportation, especially for those staying uphill. However, for visitors, they are a major attraction. It was a glorious experience being suspended in the sky, and the view was pretty amazing. And to do so, you head to the Acevedo station from the Poblado and transfer onto the cable car. The first ride should be included in your ticket if you purchase the correct one, and you need to get off at the end of Santo Domingo. From here, transfer onto the next cable car, for which a new ticket is required. This is the longest cable car and takes you to Parque Arvi. You get to see the entire city as well as the farmland on the outskirts. It's all pretty easy, and you'll see lots of other tourists doing the same route. Once at Parque Arvi, I set out to explore. Parque Arvi is a vast park and ecological nature reserve situated on the outskirts of Medellin. It's home to tons of hiking trails, waterfalls, and even an archaeological site. However, the main thing to do in Parque Arvi is hiking. There are over 12 different trails through the park, and almost all of them are rated as easy, although their lengths vary. Guided hikes are available for booking directly at the park. They are offered both in English and Spanish and leave every 30 minutes from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for 25,000 COP for foreigners. It's worth it. You get to explore and be close to nature and see some pretty amazing views. Next up for me was paragliding. This is something you don't want to miss in Medellin. The adrenaline rush is a blast, and the view is breathtaking. Of course, you get to go with professionals, and the cost is approximately $76 for a session. It was a lot of fun, but by the time we were done, I was exhausted. Be sure to head back down from Parque Arvi well before 6 p.m. when the last cars head down. In the evening, I went out for dinner and had ajiaco, a classic Colombian soup. It's a delicious white soup containing chicken, potatoes, sour cream, and lemon. It is served with a rice and avocado on the side. It's a meal in itself. For drinks, I had a lulada, a refreshing drink made from the lulo fruit. Since it was my last night, I went bar hopping. The nightlife in Medellin is a vibe. The drinks were good, fabulosa la música, and the locals were really friendly. Eventually, I ended up at a party bus. A party bus tour, guys. And had the experience of a lifetime. By the time I arrived at my hotel, it was 4 a.m. As you may notice, I did not mention going on the Pablo Escobar tour. This is because the locals find it disrespectful to be fascinated by a man who was responsible for a dark period in Medellin's history. So be really careful if you want to ask about him. Other than that, Medellin, Colombia was a dream. I look forward to going back soon. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And don't you forget to like and subscribe. Bye.